Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading. We are going to do a bonus reading. We're going to do an in-depth question reading. I did this type of reading a few months ago and people really liked it. So each row is going to represent a question, and then each card is going to represent a deeper question to that question. So let me know what you think of these in the comments. For your first row, which is going to represent what are you manifesting at this time in your life, you have the groundhog spirit, says time to let go. You have the mouse spirit, it says tend to the small things. I think you are manifesting, yes, definitely a big change. It is, this is pretty crazy right here. The groundhogs, the groundhog medicine or groundhog in the book Animal Speaks by Ted Andrews, he says that the groundhog is a symbol of rebirth. And you have the judgment card, which is rebirth, right? So the groundhog, they have multiple chambers from the burrows. They go from one to the other, and that's what symbolizes rebirth. I have that one memorized from that book because I love groundhogs. I think they're really cute little animal, so there you go. But they can represent rebirth or change, right? And so clearly what you're manifesting at this time is a big change in your life and a big transition or transformation. I think that you are going to answer the call here, Cancer, with that judgment card. This is your higher self angel on the judgment card, and it kind of represents needing to answer the call. Or it says, are you going to answer the call? And I would say yes. So you have the your first card again is going to be what is being drawn into you at this time, and what as far as what you're manifesting. And again, you have the judgment card. So I think you are manifesting a big change in your life, a much more significant change at this time. I also feel that you are getting answers with that card. Like, I really feel I've said this to you probably a million times now over the past few months, right? But I do think it's important, Cancer. It's like I feel like saying you're not crazy, which I'm pretty sure I said to you recently. It's like you might be, it's like sometimes I think we get guidance. We get that inner guidance feeling, or we feel like we understand like what we're supposed to be doing next or what direction we're supposed to be moving in next. And it's like you are. Yes, I think that, if you feel like something is a synchronicity, or if you feel like something is the universe guiding you, the answer is hell yes with this card. And, I feel like this is really the universe is kind of saying that you are manifesting inner guidance, but you have to trust it, is what I would say. Next, we are going to look at how will this manifestation show up in your life. And I do feel like some of you have been going through some sort of disappointment, or you have experienced a disappointment. I kind of feel like you've experienced many disappointments like most people. A lot of people have, but, it's like I feel like you've had a few that have kind of like really hit hard. And, I feel that, but the good news is I feel this is over for you, Cancer. And so it's like the question we're asking here is how will these manifestations show up in your life? And I feel it's going to happen now, number one. I actually think now is the time. I also feel that being grateful for what you have will help you see these manifestations faster. So, I kind of feel like that's part of your solution. He needs to turn around and see these two cups, and then he'll get this bridge in the castle. But it basically says he needs to be grateful for what he has, then he will get it. And again, next we're going to see how can you align with your manifestations faster at this time, and you have the Four of Wands. So again, I kind of feel like these two cards, Five of Cups and the Four of Wands, are both, I read intuitively, right? So even though I'm attaching questions to each card, I really do feel both cards are saying this is how Cancer can get into alignment. And so the Four of Wands can be marriage, but, that's not the point of this row. So, the point of this row is what you're manifesting. The Four of Wands says you have to complete something from the past completely and cross this finish line and celebrate on the other side. So, even the Judgment card, the Time to Let Go card, like clearly the answer for you is very simple here, Cancer. I don't think it's complicated at all. I think the answer for you to get your manifestations like now is to let go of the past and to completely move forward to something new. Especially if you're like holding on to something, or if you're feeling like you're holding on to something. The faster you move forward, the faster you're going to like manifest what you want here, Cancer. And obviously that's what I'd be doing. With the Judgment card, you have the Eight of Cups. Same thing. I do feel that you are being asked to walk away from something. He's being asked to walk away from something that does provide him with fulfillment. These 8 cups do provide him with something, but he knows that he would be settling if he stayed in this situation. So again, I think, a little bit of a challenge here, Cancer. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, is this horrible? No, absolutely not. I just think you're being asked to challenge yourself a little bit. It's like there might be something in your life, it's going to be different for all of you, that you're holding on to a little bit. And I think releasing it is going to be the thing that helps you manifest faster. With the Five of Cups, you have the Five of Wands. Yeah, it could be something that you're conflicted about. That's the other thing that's popping into my head here, Cancer, is kind of the opposite, actually. Some of you, I feel like, need to make a decision. It's like I feel some of you are conflicted on a choice or a decision. And it's kind of funny that we end with the Two of Swords here. So I feel like there's a choice that you're trying to make. And I feel like this is saying, it's almost like the reading is saying, it doesn't freaking matter what choice you make, but just make the decision, right? So it's like if you're trying to choose between, two things, I think this is, really the Two of Swords says, pick the new path. And, that will be the thing that leads to success. With the Four of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. Again, being curious about the new path. I think being playful. It's almost like, which is normally not what I would say on this card. What I'm about to say, I would normally say on the Page of Wands. So let me make that clear. But, I almost feel that this card is asking you to explore something. It's saying that you have been trying to manifest something. Could be, anything. Love, money, spirituality, whatever. And I feel the Page of Swords is saying, instead of looking at it as something that needs to go a certain way, instead of looking at love and saying, this needs to end a marriage, or instead of looking at a potential new job and saying that I need to make sure that I make $1 million if I get this job. Instead of doing that, I think having a more playful approach and just saying, variety is the spice of life. I'm just going to experience this thing, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, will help you manifest it faster into your life very quickly. So there you go. Next, we're going to look at what are your blockages at this time. You have this bearing fruit card and the smoke and mirrors card, right? So again, I think one blockage is that maybe you're working and not getting the results you desire. The smoke and mirrors card also, though, it's like sometimes I think we can be getting results, but we're just not looking at the correct results, Or it's like we're not looking at it as a result. And that might be a little bit of a challenge, especially if you're working on something. I also feel like your last row is going to represent love. But just intuitively, I feel like for those of you that do want love, if that's what you're trying to accomplish right now, I feel like this reading is saying, it's like you might think that you've done something, but you haven't, And I'm like far from perfect. Like I'm not picking on anyone here or anything like that, right? But, it's like sometimes I think people think that they flirted with a person, but it's like they just winked at them like one time. It's like that does not freaking count, right? So again, I think it's like almost like these cards are saying you actually have been getting a result. The other thing is sometimes I think people communicate differently, and especially in love. It's like maybe a person has been trying to talk to you, but you just don't think they have, right? But they have. And so it's like maybe you need to look at things from a new perspective. I think even not in love, this is saying you need to look at things from a new perspective. The other thing is with that bearing fruit card, I also feel that is saying you need to really look at what you're working on in life, all areas of life, health, wealth, happiness, everything. And you need to look at what's working. Again, it surprises me how often it's like, I'm not picking on anyone here, but I do feel like sometimes we just don't know what's working and what's not working. And then when we pay attention, we might be surprised to find that what we've been doing just hasn't been working for a very long period of time, or we've just been doing the wrong things for a very long period of time, right? And we just need to change it. I'll give a great example. It's like I've been really working on getting healthier lately, and it's like through getting people to help me and everything like that know what they're talking about. I've actually been under eating, number one, which is weird because I was a lot fatter at the beginning of this year, right? And so it's like I've actually been under eating, but I knew I was eating the wrong thing, so that's probably why. It's crazy how hard it is to hit your protein goals, right? It's like now that I track it, it's like, damn, how the hell is this freaking possible, right? So it's like I thought I was doing the right things, but really I wasn't. And so that's kind of the feeling I get here. We're going to look at what limiting belief or situation is in the way of you getting what you want at this time with this card. And you have the Strength card, your mind, plain and simple. I think you need to, this card is a card of taming your inner voice. If you want something, if you just tell yourself you believe it and you take control of your inner voice, which is what this lion is, then you will remove the blockage, right? So I kind of feel like the limiting belief or situation in your situation right now is just your own mind and what you believe is possible. And so I would work on that. Next card is going to be how did this blockage form, or why is this blockage persisting? You might be a little bit stubborn here. Again, I am, not criticizing you, Cancer, at all. There are plenty of blockages that I've had in my life where I've totally just been too stubborn to fix them, right? And not want to admit the truth. And so that's what I feel here. I'm right there with you, Cancer, right? We're in this together. I don't want anyone to, I don't know. I feel like I need to say this to you, Cancer. So, like, again, we're in this together. I want you to believe that. And, I feel like sometimes we can just be a little bit too stubborn to see the truth. I'm right there with you, like I said. So the Seven of Wands can also say that you feel like you have to wait for the perfect moment to overcome something. And I feel like this is saying, like, no, the time is now. There's nothing for you to wait for. You just have to do something now, and that will get you past this blockage. Next, we're going to look at what is your way through or around this blockage. And we have the Hangman, which is pretty obvious with the Strength card, honestly, because, again, the Strength card is your mind. Obviously, if you change your mindset, if you, instead of thinking that things can't happen, if you look at it from the opposite perspective and come up with all the reasons as to why it can happen, then you will be successful. So I think this is very obvious with that Strength card. It's just saying a change in your mindset or looking at things from a new perspective will make you more successful. With the Strength card, you have the Ace of Pentacles here. So the Ace of Pentacles can also, as far as a limiting belief is concerned, the Ace of Pentacles, the problem with this card is potential. The Ace of Pentacles, we can see it as an opportunity, but then we can say, but it just, we have to put the work in, right? And so that can be the problem with the card, is that the fact that we can see the potential, but potential means nothing. And so I feel like you need to realize that, again, that there could be a big opportunity in front of you here, Cancer, in this month or at any time. Again, these readings are for whenever you watch them. And, again, I think that taking the opportunity and putting the work in will be worth it. Ace of Pentacles is always worth it, if you put the energy to make it grow. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords. Again, a little bit of stubborn energy. She's only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. So, like I said, just being open to all ways of doing things is probably going to be what sets you free here. With the Hangman, you have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups can be the help of other people as well. So, again, this question was, what's your way through or around this blockage? And again, other people would be a good idea. I always say Three of Cups to me is those people that really push you up. The people that come from that place of love and the people that come from that place of expansion, right? So surrounding yourself with people like that could help you overcome any blockages that you're experiencing at this time. But these people don't have to literally be in your life, right? It's like, it's hard to find people like that. But, again, there might be people you listen to on YouTube or, something else that have a positive mindset. And so, I feel like that's what this is saying, is like you need to find your tribe of mentors right now so that you can overcome your own mind with that Strength card. Next, we're going to look at what are you being redirected to, if anything, at this time. You have this Hand of Fate card. It says, everything is happening for a reason, except the things to which fate binds you. You have this tricky situation. It says, a sly, subtle approach is necessary in order to safely navigate a tricky situation. I feel like you are being, really, nothing is the answer to this question. I feel like you're kind of like on the right path. Although I do feel like you're being redirected to, kind of like the Two of Swords. Sometimes, this is not always true, but sometimes I'll do a reading and there's just a card that is hitting me right in the face. There's a card that just says, this is the card of the reading. And this is one of those readings. The Two of Swords is the card of the reading for you, Cancer. I feel like I've said this to you many times before. That's like, I think Cancer is in a position where they think their life is going to go this way or that way, but really it's going to go that way. The Two of Swords says she has that island behind her, which it represents like a third place solution. But I think your life is about to take the third path or something, And this row is going to represent love, that last row, but I will spend a little bit of time, kind of tapping into that energy more so we can get some more answers on it. But again, I'm not trying to be clickbaity or anything like that here, Cancer, but I do think that, your life is meant to take an unexpected direction right now, and I feel like the universe is wanting you to... It's almost like the universe wants to surprise you. It's like the universe wants to be like, see, there was nothing to worry about all along, Cancer. I'm speaking as the universe right now. It's like the universe is... wanting you to believe in its magic or something like that, and wanting you to believe that, good things happen to good people and that, fated things can happen. And I feel like you need to believe that here. Next, we are going to look at what path is closing or becoming unstable as far as what you're being redirected to. And you have the Six of Cups. Yeah, I mean, this is true for everyone. I feel a lot of this nostalgia energy for a lot of people. I've talked about this before, that I feel a lot of people could be really stuck in that place of wishing things were the way they used to be. Or wishing that they could do things the way they used to do them, right? This is very Pluto in Aquarius energy, and Pluto has officially moved into Aquarius to stay. It's not going to retrograde again back into Capricorn. As a matter of fact, we'll all be dead by the next time it comes back around. So that's the good news, right? But I kind of feel that there are some things where it's like we wish things could be the way they used to be, but they just can't. Right? And so I feel like that's where you're being redirected to, is towards like new, the exciting, the fresh, all that. Next, we're going to look at what's the real opportunity that's opening up for you on this new path. And you have the Five of Swords. Who the hell knows, really? Five of Swords is about taking a risk. And especially on a question like this, it's going to represent kind of like what is, it would represent like taking a risk. And, a lot of you, I feel like you could be becoming bolder. Didn't I say this to you? I'm pretty sure a couple weeks ago I said something to you about, like, what would Cancer do if they were 1,000 times bolder in life? What? I don't know. You have to answer that question, Cancer, right? And I feel like that's what's going on for you at this time, clearly. And this has come up for you before. It's like, what would Cancer, who would you be if you were 1,000 times braver, 1,000 times bolder? That's what I think you need to think about with this Five of Swords. And I would, like, again, I think thinking about it is enough, right? I think just kind of daydreaming about it, and usually things start as like a seed of an idea, just thinking about something, then it goes from there, right? And so I feel that's what you need to do with that card. Next, what we're going to look at is why is this redirection ultimately happening in your favor? And you have the Knight of Cups for love, for some of you, or to get you closer to your dream as well. The Knight of Cups can be a knight in shining armor, and the love part of this reading does look very good. So if you want love, and if you feel like you're being redirected in life at this time, it could be to attract like a real knight in shining armor. I also feel for all of you, whether you want love or not, doesn't matter, that you are getting closer. It's like you are going to be getting closer to a dream than you think, but just in a different way. It's like, I don't know, it's like Steve Jobs said it, right? You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back, right? And I think this is so true. Now that I'm old, now that I'm 37, right? I hit 37, I'm over the hill now, right? I'm about to get a cane to walk around, right? What I would say is that I think it's totally true. I never in a million billion years, so like when I was younger, did I think I would be doing this, tarot. Not true, right? I just didn't think this would be it. Never in a 2 billion years did I think I would have almost 1 million subscribers. If you told me that when I started this channel, I would have said, hell no, there is no freaking way that I would ever have more than 10,000 subscribers, right? And I've blown past that. So I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because I think this is what's possible for you if you stay flexible. We go up to this Two of Swords, which she has that island behind her. Again, I think the whole entire reading is saying Two of Swords, that you need to realize that you can have everything you want, but it just might be in a different way than you think. With the Six of Cups, you have the Moon card. The Moon is, again, walking into the unknown. I think you have to be brave enough to do something that is pulling you into the unknown. I think you know what this is right now, Cancer, for most of you. Some of you might not, but it's like some of you are clearly thinking about taking a risk or are planning on taking some sort of risk that you have to take right now. And I feel like the Moon is saying you have to be bold enough to go down that path. With the Five of Swords, you have the Magician. Yeah, you can have whatever you want. Again, the question here was, what's the real opportunity that's opening up for you at this time? And the real opportunity is that you can create your own reality at this time. And the real opportunity here would be you reinventing yourself and being braver, right? It's like sometimes for us to get something, we have to match a certain energy to be that thing, right? It's like if you wanted to be a public speaker, for example, it's like obviously you can't necessarily be shy and be a public speaker at the same time. Now, I'm sure someone's gonna say, my aunt is very shy, but she's just very good. I'm like, I don't care about your like one-off random thing that you're talking about, right? For the most part. You have to be outgoing. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be brave. You can't be nervous. You can't be talking like this into a microphone on stage, right? For the most part. So again, for a lot of you, again, there are certain things that you have to be to get what you want. And I think the Magician is saying it would be an amazing time for you to look at what you want and see how you can match the energy. With the Knight of Cups, again, in the area of like, why is this redirection ultimately in your favor in your life? You have the Three of Pentacles, so that you can get positive attention, really. Three of Pentacles is about putting your work on display and, being seen, right? So I do feel like a lot of you might be public speaking or something in the future, because this would be about you being seen at this time. Next, we're going to look at what message does your future self have for you at this time. You have this Parents card. It says authority, modeling, security, and guides. You have this Running Late. It says urgency, overwhelmed, and striving. Now, what I will say is, again, this is not going to be true for all of you Cancers, of course. Take it how it resonates. But Cancer loves family. Cancer is a sign of children. And so some of you, again, not all of you, I'm just saying some of you might feel like you're running late to have children. And so, number one, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't, beat yourself up for this. But some of you could be feeling that. You have Jupiter in your sign. And, sometimes I think, Jupiter in your sign is going to enhance all your Cancer traits, right? And so, like, that could be making you feel like you want to have children. Even if you don't want to have children, it could be making you feel like you want to birth or nurture something into existence. So, again, a lot of you, it's like your future self is encouraging you to birth those things into your life, plain and simple. You have the Four of Swords, and I feel we're going to be looking at what do you need to stop repeating from the past. This is what your future self wants you to stop repeating. And you have the Four of Swords. So this is like hoping and praying that something is going to happen, right? And so I think your future self is trying to get you to be more bold, assertive, confident, and be the one to be 1,000 times more bold, right? It's almost like the universe is trying to get you to be the Chariot, which is your major arcana card. The Chariot is about really taking control of the reins and making things happen, like really making things happen, right? And so that's what I feel for you. I feel like the universe is saying it wants you to kind of like step into a more action taker energy or a more taking control, taking care of business type of energy here, Cancer. And yeah, that's exactly what I would do with this card. Next, we're going to look at what advice your future self has for you at this moment. And you have the Moon. I think the Moon is saying, and your future self is saying, that no one knows what they're doing in life. That should give you confidence in all that other good stuff, right? There are many great teachers over the years that basically all say the same thing. No one that has done anything great knows what they're doing, or did know what they were doing at the time, right? And so, like I said, there are many great people who have said that throughout history, and I think it's totally true. It's like no one has any clue what they're doing; they just did it. The whole point of the Moon is to see something through to the end. And so I feel like there's something in your life that you're manifesting or working on that you need to make sure that you see all the way through to the end. Next, we're going to look at what part of your life will change the most if you follow this advice. And there you go. You have the frickin' sun, which is amazing. I do not like readings that go from the sun to the moon. Luckily, this reading goes from the moon to the sun, which is good. So I feel like you are stepping into a time of clarity and attention and getting recognition for what makes you special here, Cancer. So, for a lot of you, it really could be a time to stand out as well. With the Four of Swords, you have the King of Cups here. And so, again, getting caught up in your emotions as well, especially with the Moon twice, right? And you are a Cancer, which is fine. But, like this, the question we asked here is, what do you need to stop repeating from the past? What your future self wants you to stop repeating from the past. And, the challenge with the King of Cups can be, getting a little bit too caught up in your emotions. Getting too caught up in the past feelings and, hurts and things like that. So, that's what I would be careful of with that King of Cups energy. With the Moon, you have the Six of Pentacles here. Six of Pentacles would be about planting seeds in a new direction, just getting started, right? This part of the reading was asking what advice does your future want to give you right now? Six of Pentacles says, take the first step. There is no good answer with the Six of Pentacles. We just have to take one step and see where it takes us, and then we have to take the next one, right? Now, Six of Pentacles is very good because if we pay attention to what works and what doesn't work, and we double down on the things that are working, then things will go very well. And, that's obviously what I would do with that card. With the Sun, you have the Six of Swords. You have 2 sixes. This is amazing. You have 2 sixes and then 2 sixes. I love 2 sixes. 2 sixes, to me, says you are going in the right direction. You are doing the right things at this time. It's kind of like confirmation for your path. But this also was, we were asking what part of your life will change the most if you follow this advice. And it's like your entire life is going to change the most. Six of Swords is, your entire life moving on to calmer shores. So definitely a lot of improvements here, Cancer. Next, we are going to look at who's thinking of you or who has their eye on you at this time. Somebody, clearly, Cancer. I think even if you're taken, I think even if you have a person, that someone is interested in you at this time. And again, if you don't want love, this row is going to represent something that you will love as well. You have the Ring and the Heart. Like literally, you have an admirer at this time. I think you know who this is, Cancer, to be quite honest with you. I feel like some of you might feel like this person wouldn't be interested in you, but I feel like they totally are. And so I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I don't know. You literally could be attracting a person you'll marry with that Ring card. For those of you that don't want love, if you don't want love, or if you already have it, and by the way, if you already have it, this is amazing. This could represent the fact, like if you're not married yet, you could marry this person, or, there's going to be a deep connection there. But if there is something that you do want now, actually, let me back up a beat here, because I feel like something's coming full circle for all of you. Whether you want love or not, the Ring card can kind of like say something is coming full circle. It's funny I said earlier the thing about connecting the dots, right? So you really could be connecting a lot of dots in your life at this time as well with those cards. We're going to ask a question. What's their current energy towards you? I feel like they're unsure here, Cancer. So I feel for some of you that, again, if you have a person that you're interested in, I feel like there's uncertainty here. What's really weird is I feel like some of you have like talked to this person, or it's like, it's like maybe you've talked to this person in passing. Maybe you've messaged this person before or something like that, but it's like I didn't go anywhere. But I feel like this made this person question the situation in the first place. So I don't know. I don't know if that's helpful or not. But it's almost like I feel that, if like let's say you've messaged with this person or something, it's like maybe they thought, I'm not saying they're right or wrong either, but maybe they thought that like the conversation like didn't really get going anywhere, and so it's like I kind of feel like maybe if you have your eye on a person, this person feels like, oh, they didn't continue the conversation, so they're not interested, right? And so there you go. I feel that for some of you. For others, I kind of feel like both people in this situation need to believe that this can come together, because Two of Swords like this or that thinking, but really, things are going to go this way over here on this island. So, I think both people need to believe this is possible. Next we're going to look at what does this person wish they could say, and here you go, that they see you as a potential lover. So if you don't have love and you're interested, this person is clearly interested. I feel like you're both interested in each other, but you both, this looks to me like something where it's like two people who need to realize that they are interested in each other or something. I don't know. It's being divinely guided, though. For those of you that don't want love, and even if you do, I feel a lot of you are the whole entire reading basically says you're being guided down a new path that you have to be brave enough to walk down. And there's a couple of good reasons for that. Number one, most people won't be. So it might be a path that very few people travel. It's like the road less traveled. But it's going to lead to success. So, and probably something you will love. Next, we are going to look at what is likely to happen between the two of you. Communication, which is exactly what this needs. So, Ace of Swords is a victory or a big success coming in for you. So I feel like this could be something that will be very successful for you, Cancer. I would absolutely make this happen, whatever it is. This could sometimes represent online communication, the Ace of Swords, and that is popping into my head. So, this might be something where it starts with messages and, kind of goes from there. With the Two of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, this person is willing to communicate. I mean, I look at the Page of Pentacles as good news. So, this absolutely could be a new person, obviously. Page of Pentacles is always a new person. Could be a water or an earth sign. Water and earth really stand out to me in this reading. Could be any sign, general reading. But, I think that there will be communication. With the Lovers, are you kidding? You have the Ace of Cups. So I don't know. It's like two people who are in love with each other here, Cancer. So that looks pretty amazing to me. I would go for it. I feel like this is obviously a very good connection. You definitely have the best love part of the reading out of all the readings I've done so far. So, I would definitely accept this into your life. Looks like it'll make you very happy. And finally, with the Ace of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups here. Seven of Cups kind of says, I wouldn't attach too much to this. You know what I mean? It's like, I think if you could allow this to happen, especially if you have your eye on a person right now, if you could just allow it to happen and not try to be perfect, then things are going to go really well. I think sometimes I feel with the Seven of Cups, it's like being spoiled for choice. It says you have a lot of options, which is probably true. But, I feel in this situation, it's kind of like saying, if you could just get into this and just, enjoy it for what it is and say, I'm just going to, enjoy this as much as possible right this second, right? It's almost like if you could just, it's like that book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Like if you could just be, as cliche as this is, if you could just be present in the situation, I think it literally could last forever as long as you're staying present. But I think, if you start going future or past, that's where the problems will come up, if that makes sense. That's what's like popping into my head. But there you go, Cancer. This is one heck of a reading. I do like it. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else, but that's really all I'm getting. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.